Thank you very much, Mr. President. First of all, welcome to the new group's leaders who are here, Manfred Weber, Mr. Pittella, and Mr. Kamal. You shall see we are a funny club. You have the most sympathetic people are Rebecca, naturally, and Mrs. Zimmer. The most outspoken one is naturally Mr. Farage, and you shall see I'm the most disciplined one in this whole house. That said, let's be honest about it. The most important outcome of this European Council was one thing. That was the nomination of Jean-Claude Juncker as candidate president of the European Commission. And I don't understand all the criticism that has been put forward to Mr. Pittella in saying that's not democratic. The procedure is exactly the same as David Cameron is nominated in the British Parliament. So I don't see any problem. I recognize the British democracy as a real democracy, and it is time also to recognize that this Parliament is the real European democracy of the European continent. So, instead of criticizing this, I think it's a big victory for the European Parliament, but not so much for the European Parliament, Mr. President, but for the European democracy and the European citizens that Mr. Juncker has been proposed. And we are now, in my opinion, entering in fact what I call a second phase of the process, because it's to Mr. Juncker now, as it is also the case in the British Parliament and in the British democracy, to find a majority around him, to make a coalition around him. And in my opinion, it has to be a broad coalition, a stable coalition, a pro-European coalition and majority of people and of groups who want to negotiate a programme and who want to have a new strategy of change for this European Union. And when I'm talking about change, I'm talking about real change. Not what Mr. Kamal has said is calling for. He has used, I think, at least 10 times the word change is an intervention, but what he is calling change, I'm calling it blocking all progress. It's going out of the euro, it's breaking up Schengen, it's stalling labour mobility, it's abandoning all European common policies. So less integration, less Europe. That's no change, that's regression, dear colleagues. Regression it is. No. What does it mean, the word conservative? Well, nothing, yeah, that's a good explanation. But if it means anything, that it means that status quo. Conservatism is status quo, and that is what we don't want with this European Union today. So, colleagues, this time and also next time it shall be in this Parliament and this plenary, I think a very important 2 weeks. We have to decide on this new leader for the Commission. And we have also, in my opinion, to make a new step forward in our relationship to the Commission. Because, let's be honest, we have to change, Mr. Barroso, with the new President of the Commission, quite a number of things. Not simply walking in this House, giving a speech, not always listening to us, walking out and then implementing the wishes of the Council. That is what was mainly happening the last years, and we have to change that. And I think it's possible to do so. It's possible to do so because this new President of the Commission, and that is the key change compared to the past, yeah, he shall be backed by a coalition. He shall be accountable. Not Jean-Paul Juncker, that's the Pope. It was Jean-Claude Juncker that has been nominated by the Council. And for us, it shall be very important that the key priorities are there. There has to be a new plan de l'or. Austerity plus growth is necessary inside the Union. There shall be a new approach of migration, of civil liberties, of LGBT rights, of privacy regulation. And most of all, we need a Commission that is really using its right of initiative every time we as Parliament are asking for. Thank you very much. Thank you.